Hey guys, Kristen Collins. Great to reconnect with you this week. I have to tell you, last week's discussion about following our inner knowing, are we in touch with that? What are we doing with our nudges? Y'all just resonated with that. There was so much feedback and contemplation around that, and it really inspired me to take another step into following that intuition and that inner knowing, especially in such a turbulent time. It sounds super easy to be like, oh, my gut told me, or I knew in my heart, or when I got chills, I knew it was the right thing. But how do we have the courage to then actualize that? How do we have the courage to sometimes go against the tidal wave of opposition or the madness outside or the frustration of other and just follow that heart-based intuition? Not claiming I have all the answers, simply sharing what it is that I've done as I've gotten more comfortable in scenarios where I'm an outlier and I know intuitively that I'm feeling like I should say no, or I should say yes, or I shouldn't go down that pathway. And finding that courage to get into a default cadence of pausing first and foremost, and then having the courage to say no or making that decision based on intuition. So I'd love to hear from you tips and tools that you use to follow your intuition. For me, first and foremost, is simply awareness. Awareness that there is an intuitive force, there is an inner knowing of what is the path for me, what is the answer for me, especially when it looks different than how it looks around me. So once I'm aware that I may have a different answer, it may look different to me, then it frees me up to be able to explore, was that truly an inner knowing? Is that really the direction I want to go? Because no one else is going that way. So number one for me is awareness that I need to be in touch with self. I do that by taking a deep breath and not being reactive. I just had an incredible conversation with Candace Tranter on Raw Real Talks Wellness Edition. She came on as my live guest and we talked about exactly this. And Candace, thanks for being a part of that conversation. So it's amazing when we can get in touch with that inner knowing, right? And sit in it and then not react immediately. We shouldn't react immediately ever, actually, right? If we can just pause and take that deep breath and then decide, am I ready to move forward? Do I have clarity on why to move forward, how to move forward? And I teased with Candace how I used to be such a reactionary, go-getting, let's get this done, let's create movement person. And I've really swung my pendulum to be much more contemplative and thoughtful on, let's just breathe for a hot second. Let's just take in this moment, because we get into that default of I need action, I need that dopamine hit, or I need to get out of this discomfort of not being certain. And I laugh at that because all these years that I thought I was certain, right? I wasn't. I was just muscling my way through stuff and I was missing a lot of inner knowing, AKA way bigger opportunities, way more healthful and enjoyable pathways that were in flow with life. So as we digest inner knowing and we pause to get in touch, next step is how do we have the courage to move once we've identified our unique inner knowing, because often it is unique. And another thing that came up in conversation with Candace on my podcast, which she is a guest on this week as well. You can check her out on Find the Spark Within podcast. She was an amazing host on that as well. So we were able to dive deeper into, okay, I can't be told what to do. And I'm certainly not going to be successful if I tell other what to do. It's so unattractive to have people willing their stuff, their way upon. So how do we step forward, heart-based, following our intuition without worrying about or being in counterpoint with other? And ironically, the answer is really, really simple. It is not our right, it is not our responsibility to convince other. It is so freeing to get in touch with self, to know self, to be comfortable with self, and exhale it, and then just be that light, be the lighthouse. And I find, again, there's a lot less to share and do, and there's a lot more sitting back and receiving and just being. And then the right partners, the right opportunities, actually way better opportunities than I've ever dreamed of, come knocking on the door, because energetically I'm putting out centeredness and calmness and love and purpose, and I'm in flow. And then I'm attracting exactly the tools that I need to live out that inner knowing. So that's how, in the world of the crazy, how we can be in touch with our inner knowing, not worry about how it affects everybody else, and not worry about how other people's decisions affect us, and to sit in the now, be aware of what we're receiving as our inner knowing from within, and then just quietly be that and allow it to unfold in flow with your life's purpose. So I hope that helps. I'll tell you, you guys were on fire last week sharing your intuition stories and your inner knowings. I think it's a fantastic subject. I think it's very timely right now. And I'd love to hear from you how it's affecting you. So with that, check out videos from the past. We've got tons of content to support you on your well-being journey. You can also check out Raw Real Talks Wellness Edition with my guest, Candace, and she's also the guest on Find the Spark Within podcast. So lots of ways to support through the 5 fundamentals of well-being, and I hope you check them out. Until next time, be love. Bye.